What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American Politics, back in with a new video, and today it is time to do a post-mortem of most of the races that were conducted yesterday. Now, I know a lot of the races still aren't called, and well, California gets its own video because boy is that ridiculous. But most of the races today will be discussed. Iowa, Mississippi, Montana, not really New Jersey. I mean, nothing of interest really happened there, but of course also South Dakota. So let's get into it. But actually before that, I hope you enjoy these type of videos. If you do, smash that like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit the little bell, and yes. Of course, go follow that mysterious Twitter account in the description down below. And yeah. So, this was a big fat W of a night. Funny. We had a lot of upsets, and well, a lot of victories for the America First Caucus, which is growing at a rapid rate. And I did not expect this many W's. It was a stunning night. And before I forget, of course, thank you to everybody that tuned into the election night stream. There was a lot of people, hundreds upon hundreds, a lot of super chats, and a lot of memes. But yeah, let's get into it, folks. So, a lot of big wins happened yesterday. The most notorious one, I would say, is Mississippi 3rd. This was, I would say, the second stunner of the night. Michael Cassidy, an America First warrior. This guy wants to give newly married couples $20,000. And they keep it unless they get divorced. This guy has a plan to promote family values. And well, he nearly took out, alright? He's probably actually going to take out the Rhino Michael Guest. And remember, this is a runoff system. It's 99% sure this is going to be a runoff. But it is a huge W because in runoffs, incumbents, especially if they don't take first, they don't usually win in a runoff. So this is a huge W for the America First Caucus. This guy is a warrior and took out a Rhino. This guy is useless. So this was a major W. And again, some votes are still getting counted. There is a chance Cassidy could avoid a runoff. But either way, Michael Guest is done. He is done. Thank God. Look, I didn't know that much about this guy, but I looked more into it. Yeah, this guy's a Rhino. And Michael Cassidy's a Giga Chad, immigration moratorium, protecting our families, all that good stuff. And not this radical socialist Republican. I mean, he wants to spend $20,000 to new families. That's good stuff. And what we need to save this country, essentially. So Mississippi 3rd, a huge W. So Mississippi 4th also had a big race, and well, I gotta say this. Stephen Palazzo, whatever you want to call this loser, he's done. A runoff, he's gonna lose. Look, the fact that he only got 31% as an incumbent is pathetic. This isn't like California with the jungle primary. This is his own base. And he couldn't even crack 32%. And there is votes still being counted. But essentially, the lion's share of votes are done. And it's essentially going to be between this loser and the Chad known as Mike Gazelle. There was a chance Clay Wagner could have got second place, but there's no way. No mathematical possibility. So it is a big W for the America First Caucus. Stephen Palazzo sucks. Another big fat Rhino. Not enough people talk about him. He's a scumbag. He lied about his military service and, well, potentially committed fraud. We just gotta see what happens to that front. But again, another huge victory for the America First Caucus. Again, Mike Gazelle, he is a good candidate. When I say America First fully, I would say more of a MAGA conservative. Pretty good, but not near the levels of Warren Davidson, Paul Gosar, etc. But more like possibly a a slight step down from Jim Jordan. So it's still a good candidate, just not perfect. But either way, a big upgrade over a big fat rhino like this. Now, that's kind of the Mississippi races. These two races, in my opinion, were stunning. Nobody expected these results. Maybe for the 4th district that everybody thought, okay, maybe he gets under 50. Yeah, that, we undershot that by quite a bit. But thank goodness for that. Now, South Dakota also had a race, and while we could not get rid of this loser, Dusty Johnson, we still made significant progress. And all I will say is this. In 2024, Dusty Johnson is done. He may not even run for re-election. Look, he had all the funding, all the support, and he couldn't even crack 60. As an incumbent, if you do not crack 60, all right, barring some huge scandals, you are done in the future. This guy, look, Taffy Howard is great on the issues, and while he did not win this race, he made significant progress of getting rid of this loser in the future. So it is a big W, and while I wish Dusty Johnson would have lost, Taffy Howard made significant progress where 2024, Johnson may not even run. I mean, he may be in such a pickle where, oh, if I run again, I may get embarrassed because Taffy Howard, he has a base. So if he runs again, Johnson done. So this was a good night for America's First candidate to South Dakota. Also, I heard at the state legislative level, America First Warriors just swept the state legislature. So that is a huge step forward in South Dakota, which, for considering it's South Dakota, there's some pretty useless Republicans. But overall, not perfect in South Dakota. We still made good progress in the state. Just like not as good as Mississippi, though, I should say. But still good enough. Now, Iowa. They've really only had two well-known primaries. The Senate race for the Democrats and Iowa's 3rd for the Republicans. This happened. This was the upset of the night. If you don't know, Abby Finkenauer, the Democrat here, she was expected to run away with this race. Why? She was seen as the only candidate on the ballot. Remember when she made a big stink about it? From what I remember, I thought it was because Democrats wouldn't have had a single person on the ballot. I didn't know this guy existed, this Michael Franken. Well, yeah, he won in one of the biggest upsets we've seen in a long time. Look, this guy wasn't supposed to come anywhere close to this. Yet, he crushed her. This was just an embarrassing night for the election, liberal election Twitter. They weren't too happy with this. So that's a big W. Also, Chuck Grassley won easily. Yeah, he won easily. I mean, he almost got more votes than all the Democrats combined. So it was a good turnout for Republicans in Iowa. Now, Iowa's 3rd. This is another good victory for the Republicans. Zach Nunn, he's going to win this fall. Look, Zach Nunn is good on the issues. He was what I consider more of a MAGA conservative. I think he fits this district perfectly. I mean, Cindy Axe is done. Literally no way she can win this race, especially against Nunn. Zach Nunn ran up the vote totals and, well, he's going to win. He's going to win this race fairly easily. And, yeah. So it's a big W. I mean, it's not an America First candidate, but close to like a MAGA type. Still good and not a rhino. So it is a good situation, and hopefully Zach Nunn will crush Axony, which I think that may happen. So there is one more race that's still ongoing in Montana. And this is an interesting one. The Trump-endorsed Ryan Zink is barely beating Al Olszewski. I think that's Czech, probably. But, yeah. So essentially, the Trump-endorsed candidate, who, by the way, I looked more into it, people brought up correctly, this guy's a rhino. This guy sucks. He's barely at 41%. And what's left of the vote is a bit more favorable parts of Olszewski territory. This guy here is what I would consider more of an America First candidate, right? He's good on the issues, talks about issues that matter, and I hope he pulls through in the end. I mean, seriously, you look at this map, it's like, geez, what is this? It's like so random, like, oh yeah, he does great in the northern district, part of the district, but also the southern district. It looks like the central part of the district is where Ryan Zink's strength is. It's kind of weird. But either way, this is a good situation where a Trump-endorsed candidate is losing to somebody further to the right of him. And this is a Republican seat. There's no reason we should be settling with losers like this. So hopefully Olszewski pulls it off in the end. Will he? I don't know. There is votes left in Flathead, which there is a ton of Republican votes in. There are a few votes in Missoula. Missoula. Yeah, that's how you say it. Few votes left in Lake County. So there is a serious shot of Olszewski winning this race, which would be a big W, and I hope it happens. So that, folks, is kind of the post-mortem of the, I guess you could say, most of the races that happened yesterday. Of course, we got to discuss what happened in California, what happened in other states. But as of now, that's the post-mortem for most of the races. If you enjoyed this video, which I hope you did, smash that like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit the little bell, and yes, of course, go follow that mysterious Twitter account in the description down below. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video. Godspeed to all of you.